Welcome back to some more Umineko When They Cry. So where we last left off, aside of the older adults, just not only the inheritance, but aside of this whole of wanting to see Kinzo before he passes away in a limited amount of time. Kairi, while she did make the really smart, while she can be a bit smart, and she said a bit of an interesting statement to following the conditions of testing to whether Kraus does care for Kinzo, leads to things didn't really go the way as he planned. It just started to escalate, so on and so forth. Then it flashes to Valor actually, oh, I finally got the answer now from the last game. But while he was trying to force Beatrice to say things in red, it didn't really work because, she doesn't really feel like it. And then we call it the delay tattooing, or man, I feel like every episode there's always like new features in the canon. It's like every episode is like a fucking patch or something for a fucking turn-based chess game or something, or the witches game trial thing, whatever. But we learned something new. Like we call it the blue truth. So we got red versus blue. Let's fucking go. But yeah, I don't want to go any so I keep going so further because it's like little a recap from last part. That's what I always do when it comes to doing parts. So yeah, let's continue. It's starting to get confusing, but it's more or less something like this. For example, let's take one of the riddles in the past where I asked her to repeat something. The actual number of master keys is 5. This had been to confirm that there really were 5 master keys when she claimed that there were no more than 5. But since that by itself wouldn't deny witches, I can't say it in blue. So in order to speak blue, I need to say something like this. The actual number of master keys was greater than 5. Wait, what? Let me see it. The actual number of master keys is 5. There really were 5 master keys when she claimed there no more than 5. That by itself wouldn't deny it. You can't say it. So in order to speak, you have to say something like this. The actual number of master keys was greater than 5. The culprit entered or exited a room with that extra key. Only then would the witch, who claimed that this was a closed room murder made with magic, be responsible for making a counter argument. In other words, I can't demand that she repeat something that merely confirms the premises of my reasoning. That'll probably be a significant disadvantage for me. Crap. It's enough to make the red Beato used to toy with me until now look extremely merciful. So that by itself wouldn't deny, so you can't say in blue. So in order to say wait, so you have to make a different statement or as a part of blue, or look extremely merciful.
くそ。仮に俺がある密室について仮説を立て、それを青で語ったとしても、ベアトがそれを最後の最後で否定してきやがったら、俺には次の仮説を立てる時間すらもねえってことじゃねえか。このルールは最悪だ。俺にばかり不利だ。
This rule's awful, horribly bad for you. It's actually a little complicated there.
また戦う前から屈服？落ち着きなさい。一つの謎に対して青は一度しか使えないとは言われてないわ。それがどういう意味かわかる？
いや、どういう意味だ？
これまでのあなたは 仮説を一つ立てては魔女の顔色を伺い、
Glance at the witch's complexion.
それがダメだったら、その時改めて別の仮説を立てるという情けない戦い方だった。それじゃあ魔女は追い詰められない。
じゃあ、どうやって戦うんだ？まさか。
ええ、そうよ。謎に点で挑むんじゃない。面で襲いかかるのよ。
You assault them with a wall.
あなた、以前のゲームで、推理の姿勢はそうあるべきだと自ら言ったわ。
He did say that. I'm pretty sure I remember. I was pretty sure somewhere around there he said it. Assault with a wall. That's right. I said so myself earlier. Guessing and trying to expose the mystery is like trying to shoot a distant target with an arrow. Until now, I've just been shooting off arrow after arrow, asking the witch if I scored a hit. That's like trying to throw darts at a wall and seeing if it actually stick, and then preparing my bow again once I'm told that I've missed. There's no way I'll hit at that rate. Bullets might be a better example than arrows. If you take one shot after another at a distant target with a handgun, you probably won't hit it easily. So how can you hit it? If a handgun doesn't work, use a shotgun. Instead of a single bullet, beat her down with shot, comprised of countless projectiles at once. Shot scatters, so it impacts a wide area. That makes it optimal for shooting small, fast targets like birds. That's right, there's no rule that says I have to guess like a pistol, shooting one shot off at a time. Making a single theory and just hoping that it hits is no better than stopping your own thinking. Blast away with a massive number of bullets of guesses and make them impact like a wall, so that only one of them hitting the target is enough.
青か。なるほどな。お前の赤き真実が切れ味鋭い日本刀みたいなもんだとしたら、俺の青はどうやら散弾銃。
I mean, if a witch using a razor sharp katana and then the battler using a freaking gun, and then you only use one thing and then she just deflects it, then, you know. Okay, sure. Nice, a little bit of an interesting comparison.
いや、火力で魔女を蜂の巣にする機関銃だぜ。
下手な鉄砲、数打ちゃなんとやらか。そなたらしいそやな例えよ。
推理小説なんかのクライマックスはいつもこうだった。名探偵が容疑者を一堂に集め、たった一つの推理を披露して、それを華麗に当ててみせるんだ。まるで、一本の矢で見事にリンゴを射抜く、ウィリアム・テルのようにだ。
Oh, hey, William Tell. I did remember the lore of William Tell, especially when I used to play Fate Grand Order at the time, so...
だからこそ、それが美徳みたいに誤解しちまってた。
It probably would be splendid if I could shoot through the truth with a single guess. But that isn't realistic. Look at real wars. Do they really have everyone pull long guns out of their trench, aim really well, and take shots at each other one at a time? They don't, right? They fire rapidly. They fire all over the place. They pin down the enemy with a barrage. Reasoning is the same way. Because of that weird virtue, I've been stuck thinking it's better to take one line of reasoning at a time. We humans can fire off countless guesses and possibilities. The bullet is the power of imagination. Suspension of thought is a clogged barrel. The pathetic way I've been reasoning up until now is like a pea shooter. I've been so lame, weakly firing out shots, getting them denied and read, and then taking the next bullet and reloading. my blue truth, which claims that humans and tricks are what's real, will overpower its target, the illusion told by the red, with its firepower and the force of what I can imagine. This is Ushiro Mio Battler's fighting style.
お前のおかげで俺の本当の戦い方が分かってきたぜ。
Finally, after over 3 fucking episodes, Jesus Christ, we finally found how to fight a real war.
ありがとうよ、グレーテル。
どういたしまして。
You're welcome, with a very jaded look on her face.
これまでの俺が情けなく思えてくら。ああ、ベアと言う通りだぜ。これまでの俺はハンデをもらってきた。そいつを認めるぜ。新ルール、了解した。俺には俺の戦い方がある。そいつを見せてやれ。
I like the look on Ange's face. She's just sitting there saying, man, why do I have to explain everything to him?
その息やよし、気に入ったぞ。ならば早速使ってみるがいい。そなたの青き真実とやらを。
ああ、使ってやるぜ。この青き真実だ。お前が主張する全員にアリバイがあるから魔女の犯行しかありえないという魔女説は打ち砕ける。
Because everyone had alibis.
これが俺の真実だ。
This is your truth.
後宮金蔵はすでに死亡している。
Ushiro Mia Kinzo is already dead.
よって島の本当の人数は17人。
Therefore, the true number of people on the island is 17.
そこに未知の人物 X が加わることで18人となっている。
By adding an unknown person X to that, it becomes 18 people.
この人物 X の存在の過程によって17人全員にアリバイがあっても犯行は可能になる。
By supposing that this person X exists, the crime is possible even if all 17 people have alibis. Pretty interesting. Oh, where's there more? Chaucer. Oh, it's the whole thing. And just breaks like that.
つまり私たちはこれ以上お父様への面会を拒まれるならば以下の仮説を立てなければならないの。つまりお父様はすでに亡くなっている。しかし遺産を分配したくないクラウス兄さんがそれを隠してるってね。
No words.
バカバカしい。
Baka Bakashi. Oh, that's a new look on his face. He just doesn't want to accept that fact.
そうです。バカバカしいにも程があります。これほどの侮辱は初めてです。
Well, it is an opinion.
私たちは警官立ち会いの下で強制的にその生死を確かめることさえ可能よ。ねえ、エヴァ姉さん。
Isn't that right? Even oh god.
ええ。
Well, yeah.
そうよ、兄さん。
The look on her face is like, oh wow.
話は何とでもでっち上げられるわ。兄さんが第三者の立ち会いのもとにお父様を面会させなければならない状況になんて簡単にお膳立てができるわ。
でもそれは後宮家にとってとても不名誉なことだと思うの。だから私はこの提案をしている。世話人の義務と責任。万一の際のペナルティ。 これを承諾してくれれば、私たちはお父様を無理やり引きずり出すなんて真似は控えることができる。
ああ、そうだぜ、兄貴。さっき言ったじゃねえか。兄貴は世話人として当然の義務を果たしてるってね。キリエの条件は大したことじゃねえはずだぜ。なぜ過剰反応する？親父が自然死以外の理由で死んだ場合、次期当主から引きずり下ろされるってのがそんなにも気になるのかよ。
それとも何？お父様が自然死以外の理由で亡くなるような心当たりでもあるのかしら？
そんな心当たりなどあるわけもない。なるほど。私にも親父殿の気持ちが分かってきたよ。死に方一つ自由にさせてもらえないとは、実に気の毒な晩年だよ。
Damn, you make it sound like he's in pain.
ええ、本当に気の毒な晩年ね。その晩年が、実はもう過去のことじゃないのかと、私たちは疑っているの。
There's something suspicious, indeed. So there is a suspicious past going on between you guys.
この疑惑は、私たちをお父様に面会させてもらえるだけで、あっさりと解けるわ。ここまで私たちに侮辱されても、それでも面会は許されないんですか？クラウス兄さん。
No words.
お父様は多分、すでに亡くなっているわ。おそらく遺体は、極秘のうちにどこかに処分したでしょう。そして、お父様の代理ということで財産を独占した後、失踪したことにして、7年かけて、お父様を死体なき死者にする。
A corpseless member of the seas. You make it sound like Krause was behind all the shit. Yep, he's like, well, Krause is the culprit now. Case closed. Jesus Christ.
ごめんなさいね。気を悪くしないで。これはあくまでも私の推理ごっこだから。
That is some insane detective game.
無礼極まりない。あなたにこの屋敷にとどまる資格はありません。即刻退場なさい。二度と当家の敷居をまたぐことを許しません。
God damn. I remember, like, was it episode 1 and maybe 2? I don't think it's episode 3, but I'm pretty sure episode 1 and 2, you tell Eva to get the fuck out. Now you're telling Kyrie to get the fuck out. Oh shit. Natsuki has enough of her bullshit.
去年通用した手が今年もまた通用すると思ったのが運の尽きね。
It worked last year, but you used up your luck. You thought it would work this year too. She's just saying to her, look, you're telling me to get the fuck out last year, but now it's not gonna work out.
お父様はご機嫌斜めだから面会できない？去年の時点で十分不審だったのに、今年もだなんて。お父様の代理を語り、財産を乗っ取るなら、もっとスピーディーにやって。
A little more speedily.
今日の親族会議を待たずに失踪させるべきだったわね。さすがに甘いわよ、クラウスお兄様。
Uh-oh. What does Krause got to say about this? Because again, like, you make it sound like, oh, Kinzo's fine, yada yada. So, I don't know about that though.
君が何のことを言っているのか私にはさ。
I have no idea what you were.
でも。
What? You're gonna interrupt him?
お父様がご機嫌斜めなのは事実で、クラウス兄さんが世話人としての責務として私たちの面会を拒んでるのだとしたら、それはとても立派なことよね。なら、私の出した条件を飲んでくれれば、この場は収まるわ。
There's a rule that I never expect to agree on. Yeah, Kinzo, you know how he is. He's always in a bad mood. Hates you guys and so on and so forth. I don't know why. It's like if Kinzo's being the villain.
何しろ、お父様のことをこんなにも大切にするクラウス兄さんですもの。お父様に検視されて困るような死に方があるわけがない。いずれにせよ、お父様は病院嫌いなんだから、書斎で亡くなるでしょうね。いずれにせよ、必ず検視は行われるわ。検視を逃れて殺すには、失踪しかない。
The only way to kill him without an autopsy would be for him to disappear. Well, that is a good point. If the body disappears, then it's now confirmed that it's either like reported missing. So, but no body confirmed yet. Also, that's the funny thing about with Kinzo hating hospitals. I get the point that he's fucking rich. I guess. Well, I don't know how the current healthcare. Actually, no. This is 1980, so I don't know what the healthcare in Japan would be like. But so, yeah.
キリエさん、兄さんをいじめるのはそれくらいにしてくださらないかしら。
That's what she's. I mean, look who's talking. I mean, Eva rebuked Kyrie in a sickeningly kind voice. Considering the situation, that was impossible, which is why it was sickening.
兄さんにもいろいろと都合やプライドもあるはず。兄さんにとって当然の義務であっても、それを文書化して、その上ペナルティまで課せられたんじゃ、そりゃ不愉快なはずよ。ねえ、ローザ。
ええ、そうね。
Oh, you fucking Rosa just nonchalantly agrees.
クラウス兄さんの長男としてのプライドを軽んじすぎたかもしれないわ。キリエさんの言うような世話人の責務についての覚書にサインというのはさすがに気の毒かもしれない。
Why do you guys feel that makes no sense? Now you guys feel bad for him, but like even though like Krause usually like treated like shit. I mean, I'm pretty sure Rosa's like the youngest sibling to get treated by like the three that are above her, but still. Y'all are fucking insane.
そうだな。
That's right.
兄貴はよくやってくれてる。
I can't even tell if that's sarcasm. Oh, you're doing a good job, Aniki. It's like, what?
そこを汲み取り、おかしな書類にサインとか、万一の時はペナルティとか。そういう話を抜きにして、兄貴に全部一任することを考えてもいいかもしれねえ
な。お前ら。
Damn, you made him mad. The tension is increasing right there. Episode 1 made it's like Krause is being all high and mighty. I think same applies with like episode 2 and 3, but now look at the look on his face. Holy moly, he's mad. This is what happens when when they relearn the politics of the inheritance, Jesus Christ. This is a Umineko's not a mystery visual novel. This is a political vision novel, too. Not just Eva, but Rudolph and Rosa as well, with unnerving smiles on their faces, as though they planned this beforehand. Began closing in on crowds. Man, y'all people are. They now understood perfectly how Kairi had cornered Kraus and exactly where she was prepared to compromise.
世話人の責務についての覚書。これにサインすることなく、私たちがお父様への面会を生涯求めないことにもできるわ。覚書などなくても、クラウス兄さんが世話人にふさわしいという保証をしてくれれば。
私にその保証金を支払えというのかね。これはおかしい。
What a laugh. Indeed.
保証金はエヴァさん、ルドルフさん、そしてローザさんの3人に1人30億円ずつ。
3 billion yen each.
手付金としてその1割の3億円ずつを今年度中に振り込んでもらうわ。
90億だと。
9 billion?
そんな金はない。
I don't have that kind of money. Yeah, well, there's no way I have that kind of money. This is ridiculous.
お父様がお亡くなりになった後なら捻出できるはずよ。私たちもその程度には下調べは済んでる。手付金の9億円だってクラウスさんの財産状況ならなんとかなるはず。それこそお父様に借りることだって可能でしょ。
Borrow it from father.
白々しい演技は不要よ。
不愉快だ。実に不愉快な話だ。
This is really unpleasant.
まったくです。
Even Natsuki was shocked to the point that she's pissed.
お父様の遺産の話だけでも十分不敬だというのに、お父様はもう死んでいる？主人がそれを隠していて財産を独占している。
I mean, to be fair, you're not letting them see Kinzo. So now that, I mean, they could have just, let them visit Kinzo even if he's in a really bad mood and, hates y'all. And now we're just gonna, that's what happens when you give them the power. So, you reap, you sow.
もううんざりです。あなたたち全員にもはや後ろ宮を名乗る資格などありません。
落ち着いてや、夏井さん。
Oh, I forgot Hideyoshi was still here.
みんなもう話はこれまでや。どうや、この場の話は一旦ここまでにせんか。規模がでかい上に唐突な話や。わしらも興奮してるところがあるかもしれん。
True.
ここは一旦休憩を挟んで頭を冷やさんか。
Yeah, why don't y'all take a break or something?
クラウス兄さんにもちょいと時間が必要やろ。
He's gonna be needing a longer break, that's for sure.
な、クラウスさん。時間？そんなものがなぜ私に必要なのかね。ま。わしらかて本音じゃ物騒なことなど考えとらん。どうしてもお父さんに会わせてもらえんからちょいと嫌味が言いたくなっただけなんや。それにクラウスさんが売り言葉に買い言葉で頭に血が上ってしまったのもよー分かっと。
Seems like it.
クラウス兄さんかって本当はそこまで言うんなら合わせてやってもいいと思っとるんや。
I mean, why couldn't Kraus just drag these guys up to the the entrance of the study room instead of him going by himself? So, I don't know.
な、そうやろ。ただついつい意地になってもうたんで、今さら会ってもいいなんて言えなくなってしまっただけや。そうやろ。な。
He got a little stubborn, which is why it feels awkward to say, let us see him. Surely.
確かに主人も皆さん同様、少々冷静を欠いてしまったところもあるでしょう。私たちはお父様の皆さんに会いたくないという意思を尊重して頑なに断っていたに過ぎません。
No words.
そうだな。つい昔のような兄弟喧嘩になってしまい、私も意地になってしまった。
At least you're being self-aware for the once.
頭を冷やそう。お前たちが親父殿にどうしても会いたいという強い気持ちはよくわかった。私もそれを伝える。なんとか面会してもらえるよう親父を説得しよう。それでどうかね。
そうね。クラウス兄さんに説得の時間を与えてもいいと思うわ。
そうだな。頼むぜ兄貴。俺たちに会ってくれるようよく説得してくれ。何しろ親父の世話人なんだからよ。
その説得だけど今夜中って制限を設けさせてもらうわよ。明日になったら私たちは書斎の扉を打ち破ってでもお父様の安否を確認するわ。それでいいわよね。兄さん。
好きにするがいい。
Do as you like.
なるほど。説得すらも大して時間はかけられないようだ。
It does. Time getting to saying is short. What? Dang, that's a pretty short timing.
夏日、行こう。せめて晩餐にはご一緒していただくようお願い申し上げよう。
I mean, I was gonna say you guys could just go together as a group to give a knock on the study room, but okay. I mean, I guess he's gonna give other people's ideas, but
はい。
Kraus left the parlor with Natsuki. Once their footsteps disappeared, Hideyoshi took a deep breath, smirking and flopping onto the sofa. Smirking.
キリエさん、あんた恐ろしい人やな。
勝手な口出しをしてごめんなさい。謝るわ。
いやいや、当初の計画にはなかった追い詰め方だが、結果は上々だ。相変わらず、お前ってやつには頭が下がるぜ。
でも9億円も用意できるのかしら。クラウス兄さんの財政状況ギリギリで 7.5 億が限界と私たちは計算したはず。9億はさすがにふっかけすぎじゃない？
I mean, to be fair, y'all also have financial situations, so even though despite you guys being rich.
無理なら無理でいいのよ。クラウス兄さんの顔を立てて 7.5 億に減額とかやれば譲歩したっぽく見えて収まりやすいでしょ。本当に9億出てきたなら大成功だし。
兄さん、今頃夏日さんと作戦会議中でしょうね。あのプライドの高い兄さんがどんな言い訳をしながらへりくつをこねてくるか、本当に見ものだわ。
お父さんを説得できるわけがない。
There's no way to convince someone who isn't even there. Well, a little interesting laugh at the end.
兄弟たちも年に一度の親族会議にそれぞれの都合を合わせてやってきています。
And now we flash back at Kraus inside the study room. Kraus and Natsuki could be seen in the Kinzo's dimly lit study. Every once in a while, thunder could be heard, and the dimly lit room flickered with light. It seemed that the island would be closed off by the storm very soon.
お父様、どうか今一度不敬な彼らに当主様の威厳をお示しください。
ダメだな。
It's useless. Oh, Kinzo is that. What do you mean it's useless? The large shadow of a person standing by the window, his majestic back facing them, answered quietly and forcefully. He hung his head and shook. Eventually, they could hear a mumbling laugh over his shoulder.
ダメだな。全然ダメだ。
It's useless. It's all useless. Wow, it's not only Battler and Ange saying that phrase, it's Kinzo too. Holy moly. A combo. So does this mean we take it as a no? 3 months left to live? An almost finished Jeezer? To whom exactly are you referring?
愚か者が
Oh God. That look on his face.
弟たちに恫喝されてのこのこやってきたか。恥を知れ。
As Kinzo turned and brushed his cape, it flashed forcefully through the room's stale air. That air pressure clearly signified Ushiromiya Kinzo's majesty and willpower itself. Did I just hear a little ding? Okay. The which side? Huh. So we got Kinzo. Okay, well, nothing on Anji's side, though. Goldsmith. Kinzo's name as a mage is Goldsmith. His skills as a summoner are legendary for the modern age. In terms of summon ability, there are times when he surpasses even Beatrice. Pretty sure I already seen this by now. However, he is very mismatched. And while he does excel in some areas, he is fatally lacking as a mage in others. He cannot even perform the trifling magic to heat a cup of tea. Yet he can summon demons capable of using magic to boil the oceans. His system of magic is his own and has its origins in mathematical miracles. Beatrice later reworked her own system of magic based on this. Ain't this something? Air pressure truly signified Ushiromiya Kinzo's majesty and willpower itself. After being blown back by that wind, it wasn't strange that Kraus landed on his butt. As though showing consideration for Kraus, who looked as though his legs had been swept out from under him, Natsuki also crouched down. Then, with a thunk, thunk, Kinzo's footsteps approached with a heft that signified his dignity.
お父さん。バカや
Damn.
カノンに聞いておるわ。貴様が弟たちにどれほど情けなく手玉に取られたかをな。
From canon?
お父様、夫はお父様の名誉を守るために懸命に。
Without lending an ear to Natsuki's words, Kinzo extended his palm to Krause's collar as the latter sat on the floor. No, he curled his fingers, leaving only his pointer finger out, then took that finger and pressed hard into Krause's collar, twisted it, and slowly, with just one finger, picked Krause up into the air.
情けないやつだな、お前は。妻に自分の弁解をさせるのか。言い訳くらい自分でしてみせよ。
Damn, this old man is choking the hell out of this man. Krause clawed at the air. Kinzo's brawny finger was choking him. He couldn't even open his mouth, much less talk. However, even if he had been able to open his mouth, as he was now, there was no way he'd be able to think up an excuse that Kinzo would accept. Still, how could this power be described? No one would call Kinzo an old man after seeing this superhuman strength.
お父様、
How the goddamn Kinzo is not an old ass dude. Yeah, he's now old man Giga Chad.
夫は夫なりに戦いました。どうかお許しください。
He sends a very supernatural presence.
夏日。戦いというのはな、勝つまでの過程を言うのだ。負けるまでの過程は戦うとは言わぬ。それはただ一言、みっともないというのだ。これが私の後継ぎだというのか。
Damn, even he can laugh just fine without leaving out a cough. As thunder roared, Kinzo laughed heartily as though nothing could be more pleasant. And when he finished laughing, he threw his son away like he was scrap paper, slamming him against the wall. He just chucked him like he's a football.
あなた、しっかり。
Krause slid down the wall, rubbing his throat as though in pain. Natsuki ran up to him and looked after him. But without showing any interest in the two of them, Kinzo returned to the space near the window, as though he had been there the whole time, and looked up at the thunderclouds of misfortune.
ベアトリーチェにさえ会えれば、我が人生には何の悔いもないと思っていたが、どうやらそういうわけにもいかぬらしい。魔女より得たものは何も残せぬのが初めからの約束。しかし、後宮の名は魔女のものではない。
Is not the property of the witch.
その名を継ぐのが誰にふさわしいか。どうやらそれだけはわしが自らの手で解決せねばならぬようだ。喜べクラウス。気が変わったぞ。
喜べ。
お父さん。では。
貴 貴様らふぬけどもと食事をする気など起きぬ。だがその後の親族会議には出席する。
You have no desire to have dinner, but you will attend the family conference afterwards?
お父様、ありがとうございます。
Wait, so we can take it as a yes.
私はその席上で当主継承についての重大な発表をするであろう。お前たちのくだらない争いは私自らが解決してやる。
I fucked up the mouse wheel too. I thought I was gonna like click on this. I was trying to mute my mic on OBS just so I can drink my coffee while he's laughing, but I think I fucked it up. There was supposed to be some thunder sound effect. Damn, but my god, he's gonna resolve the foolish quarrel? Oh boy, what is he gonna do this time?
Genji さんか誰かいない？
Alright, so I muted. Oh, I muted my mic away, but you know, it is, you know, Saturday, October 4th, 1986, 6:07 p.m. This is Ange's recollection. I don't know what that means. Is this chapter not only we're gonna flash back to Ange's perspective now? In Ange's world, whichever. But yeah, I don't know. Let's see what's going on from here.
誰でもいいの。バスタオルを持ってきて。
Oh, so we don't have to deal with this whole stupid shit with, like, you know, Rosa, you know, screaming at Maria with her shenanigans. Okay. There was already a full-blown typhoon outside, and it was starting to pour down hard. Even though she'd had an umbrella, Maria had been in the rose garden amid all that wind and rain the whole time, like always. She had grown ice cold. Maria had gotten into a minor fight with Rosa in the rose garden and had been told to stay there. She had done as she was told and had continued to wait in that spot even though rain was pouring down. Rosa certainly had gotten a little emotional and angry, but Maria's stubborn whim was probably more to blame. The cousins who had seen that exchange were relieved to see that mother and child were close to each other again. Rosa scrubbed Maria's head with a towel. She seemed overcome with worry that Maria had caught a cold, but Maria herself was nonchalant.
大丈夫？寒気とかしない？やっぱり一度戻って着替えさせた方がいいかしら。
Son, it's too late now.
全然平気。それよりお腹空いたから着替えよりご飯がいい。
Yeah. Let's worry about the number one priority in life. Okay. Let's see. Let's go back. So Maria got into a minor fight with Rosa. I don't know about minor fight, but judging by like episode 1 and 2, it doesn't really look. That's a little bit of a sugarcoat, if you ask me. Because if anything, when it comes to like Rosa's, like, I want to say, I'm so tempted to think like what Rosa's been doing is described as toxic behavior, but it feels like, you know, even though I'm supposed to feel bad for Rosa with, like, you know, this whole backstory and the trauma, that it is part of her responsibility to show that she needs to have this self-control, but now it looks like it could be described to feel like she has little to no self-control on her actions whatsoever. So
大丈夫そうだぜ、ローザおばさん。
she sure looks fine.
こんだけ元気ならきっと大丈夫だよ。
傘があって本当に良かったよ。ひょっとしたらずぶ濡れかもしれないと思ってたからね。傘を持ってたのは不幸中の幸いだったよ。
It's like, what? He's like, gee, what a miracle.
でもよ、マリア。いくら傘があっても、こんな大雨になったらちゃんと雨宿りしなきゃダメだぜ。女の子は体を冷やしちゃ絶対にいけない。
いいのよ、ジェシカちゃん。ママがそこにずっといなさいと言ったのが悪いの。本当にごめんね。本当にごめんね。
マリアいい子。ママの言う通りにしてたからいい子。寒くてもずっといた。ママが来るまでずっといた。
I don't know. I can't even tell if this is like, yeah, you fucking stay there. Because within the human terms of telling Rosa telling her child to stay, you go ahead and fucking stay there. Be my guess. I could give two fuck, is what she would say. I guess what Maria said to Rosa, but she just fucking, accepts that, demand of the sort, or like.
マリアは本当にいい子よ。ママの言いつけをちゃんと守ったわね。本当に偉いわ。でも、次からはママの言いつけであっても、あんな大雨になったらちゃんと雨宿りをするのよ。いいわね。ママと約束よ。
ママと約束。
As Rosa gently held Maria, they joined their pinkies together and promised. Battler and the others realized that by touching her mother's pinky. The warmth had started to return to Maria's body.
カノン君、タオルをありがとう。
Well, I guess everything went back to normal, as usual.
助かったわ。
それでは失礼いたします。
Good for Kanon to come in and help. As Kanon bowed with a blank expression as though he'd done nothing that required gratitude, he left the parlor.
さあ、もうお夕飯よ。みんなも行きましょう。偉いマリアには、後でママの分のデザートも分けてあげるわ。
Episode 1 and 2, grabbing Maria to... I like it how there's like very different scenarios, but it ends up like very in a similar fashion. With Rosa and Maria fight with the arguing. Because let's not all pretend we're mischievous kids, right? But when it comes to like Rosa's a bad mood where it's like apparently it's normalized to just snap at others without like having the mental control, is apparently part of the norm. But I guess it's normal within that particular cycle.
本当ママ。デザートもらえる。
Ain't that great?
ママ大好き。ママ大好き。
こらマリア、はしゃがないの。ママもマリアが大好きよ。マリア大好き。マリア大好き。
マリアもママ大好き。
The fuck? Huh. Rosa actually said it. Is this like some sort of hint, or is this like is this just Rosa trying to like um bottle up their bad mood? This is interesting right there. The first 2 episodes, fucking, I don't mean to say that, but Rosa hates it when Maria keeps overusing the word and all of that. But why am I getting this feeling that this is like a way of like a it's not like a Morse code, but it's something to really, maybe it's like something to decrypt a particular language, right? Rosa and Maria looked really close. Even the cousins who watched started to feel a long forgotten warmth fill up their chests.
このくらいの年頃が親と一番仲がいいのかもしれねえな。
うちはそうでもなかったぜ。母さんとかいっつも勉強勉強とうるさかったな。
I mean, to be fair, you rather have your own methods of you being a teenager than having to like follow the ways of what your parents do.
子供を愛していればこそだよ。親の愛は優しさや甘やかしだけじゃないんだよ。
Does that include the word discipline?
僕の母さんも厳しかったけど、僕を大事に思ってくれたからこそだって今ならわかるよ。
マリア大好き。マリア大好き。さあ食事に行きましょう。お手手つないで仲良くね。
お手手つないで仲良く。ママとマリア仲良し仲良し。
そうよ。ママとマリアは仲良しよ。いつまでもずーっとね。愛してるわ、マリア。
なんだよ突然。
That's a good question.
どうした？
The sudden sound had come from the teacup Gretel had been holding, which had fallen and smashed.
ごめんなさい。ぼんやりしてたわ。落としちゃってごめんなさい。
The cup on the floor had smashed to pieces. Would it really have made such a sound and smashed to pieces just by being dropped from that height? Even someone as thick-headed as Battler could realize that she was in a bad mood or something. Seems Ange really didn't like how that's how that scenario turned out. I mean, even I think it's pretty fishy of, the relationship between Rosa and Maria. Bad mood over something, but he couldn't understand why she had suddenly grown so displeased. I'm sure Ange has various legitimate reasons why she's like that. When she made to bend over and pick up the fragments of the cup, Ranulf appeared out of nowhere and stopped her.
お怪我をなさいますよ。お片付けは私どもにお任せを。紅茶のおかわりをお持ちしましょうか？
Yeah, he just butts in and he's like, "Hey, you're gonna get your fingers cut. Leave it to me."
いらないわ。どうも悪魔の紅茶は口に合わないみたい。
ほう。どの上の紅茶でも口に合わぬものがおったとは。そなたの肥えた舌には敬意を表するぞ。
退屈してきたんで、ちょっと席を外すわ。
退屈？おいおい、いよいよこれからだろうが。多分、 この時点でマリアはまた傘と手紙をベアトリーチェから受け取ってるって言い出すんだぜ。
Yeah, but that sounds like pretty obvious.
ここからが重要だってのに。
Damn, how can you be bored?
失礼するわ。ごめんなさいね。後片付けをお願い。
お任せを。
Well, what an interesting way to, end up from here. Yeah, we're about it out. Yeah, next part. You know, we covered up some pretty interesting parts, especially with, Kraus and Natsuki convincing Kinzo to come down to the conference of his own accord, this, um, is the very conflicting occasion between Rosa and Maria, and to the point where even Ange just sits there just saying, I feel like maybe Ange has her maybe there's some opinions that even Ange would have where I could actually come to them. It's like, maybe I maybe there is something familiar of what I said could match up to what Anji is saying. I don't know. But yeah, like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you guys later. Have a good one.